Want me to try on my side? There you go.
There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to ACES53 with Ed Parcaut and myself. So it is a Thursday, and this is going to be an interesting Thursday.
Why?
Well, no, just the topic, what you and I were talking about before, is just it's insane to try and keep up with everything that's out there. But before we jump into it, what you got going on, Ed?
Just trying to keep my head above water. I have so much going on. It's not like bragging. It's just everything is busy. I'm building, and then I'm trying to do loans at the same time, and things are so much faster these days. I mean, how to do things. And I had somebody that came to me who went to, I deal a lot with business owners, and I know how their taxes are because I'm a business owner. I understand that. And I had one person just got referred to me from a CPA that I helped out 3 years ago that nobody could do his loan. And same thing with this person. 5 months into it, they went to 5 different companies and took me 6 hours to get them approved. It's just because I understand the taxes and business income, and people don't understand all that. They look at, they took a loss. Well, you didn't look at the depreciation you can add back in.
Right.
Because as a loan person, not everybody understands things. They rely on processors or other people.
Well, okay. So before we jump into the AI stuff,
sorry, I was waiting. Yeah.
No, I think this is a relevant topic because a lot of people who watch are entrepreneurs. And I know that's one of the things like you and I have talked about offline is when you have a W-2 from a corporation, companies go, okay, well, you got a W-2. But if you're a business owner, what did you tell me like some of the basic things are? Like what's in order to try and get a property, a house or whatever, if you're self-employed, what are some of the main things that they're going to need?
You're going to need 2 years of tax returns. 2 years of being in business is what they look for.
Okay.
And that's why I tell everybody, if you're going to start a business, buy your house first, then start the business. Because we don't care after the fact. It's only before.
You didn't tell me that, but that's also because I got fired. So
I did tell you that. It's not my fault. You did it when you did it. The big thing they look at is, do you take you got to make money.
Right.
I explain to people when you're in business, you write off so much stuff. You have to understand you might not be able to do a regular type of loan. You might have to do a bank statement loan or a DSCR, all those different types of unique. DSCR is like an apartment complex where you buy an apartment complex that goes off of the rents. Same thing on the
rent rolls. Yeah.
Rent roll. Anyway, and so there's so many different ways. But when these people made money, the thing is they depreciated $80,000. Well, that's their money. That's just on paper write-off.
Right.
That's really their income. They took that income. It just showed it as depreciation. And they showed on their K1s, because if you're a corporation, you don't get a K1. If you're an S corp or what you get a K1.
Right. I got you.
It's a lot of thing to go through, and it's a lot, but I know how to put stuff back in that other people don't. And also it's not because I'm smarter than everybody. I just know how to fill in the boxes.
Right. Well, and so maybe we should just do one Thursday where you talk about that, because there are a lot of people who follow us here who are either leaving corporate America, have their own business, and don't really know what it is, because it's one of those things until you're there, you just don't know. But
the other thing is, say that you have a car or credit cards that are companies and it's paid through the company, but it's on your personal credit.
Yeah.
You need 12 months of canceled checks to take that off.
Oh, really?
It has to come from the company. I have one right now, 24 months of canceled checks, except for July of last year where she was out of town and she didn't have her business stuff. So she made it with her personal account, and that can mess up the whole thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. Let's have you do one. You can be the Joker one of the weekends, but
I don't want to be a Joker.
Yeah.
But a Joker.
What we were going to come and talk about today is
missing a light today.
What's that?
You got a light off today, or is it dark there?
No, I reset the camera because for some reason it was making me look sunburned.
Well, I'm jaundiced today on my side.
You look like a Simpsons character. It's cool. No, I kept looking at mine. I kept looking more and more. Like it got to a point where I felt like I looked more like orange like this than anything. So I reset everything on the computer and redid the lights. But, yeah. But so anyway, what we were talking about, what's in Instagram over here is just trying to keep up with AI, because it's freaking maddening. I was telling you yesterday, I sat on the Ignite call, and Adam Armstrong came on, and he was talking about Perplexity Computer, which it's a whole other level of, you can have it do tasks, and you'd have to go back and watch it for me to do it even any justice. But while you're flickering,
what am I flickering?
Well, yeah, you were flickering. It looked like you're changing your lighting or something.
I was adjusting my lighting.
Okay.
Yeah. for a
But
while.
he went in and he put in the tasks, and it like within seconds came up with like 280 tasks. And what it does is it runs things as a computer. So it continues, it will run all these tasks, shut off, and then come back on and run a bunch of tasks again. So in just a few prompts, he went out, he scraped his competitors' YouTube, he scraped his competitors' websites, he scraped.
Stop. Number
Yes.
one, YouTube. That's illegal to scrape YouTube's websites.
Well, okay, maybe scrape's not the right
I'm
word.
just, if you go and grab that information,
Yes.
that is, because if you, any AI will tell you, you cannot do that because that's they frown on. They don't frown on it. It's huge. They can cancel you.
Maybe
So
he
don't use
said,
the word scrape.
yeah, okay. So maybe it was, tell me who's the most successful, like research. We'll just say research. Let's put that
Because
way.
I have done it where I take their transcripts
Yes.
and then have it drop it into AI and turn it into a knowledge base.
Well, what he was doing is he was just saying, who are the most successful? What are the things that are out there? Go create my thumbnails, go create my videos. And it came back, and so he was explaining just high level is you have to have Perplexity, $200 a month subscription right now, but it's literally like having little computers, but it's all based in the cloud. So unlike Claude code, which that was the whole big thing that happened a month ago, is all these people were putting Claude code on their physical computers and not thinking about, well, my banking information's there, client sensitive data, all that kind of stuff. So this competes with that, but it's cloud based.
Oh, okay. Claw, CLAW.
Yeah, sorry, Claude.
Yeah, because I'm like, Claude. I just did Claude. What did I not miss?
Claw code, sorry.
Claude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Claw. Come on.
Claw,
Spell
like
it
a
out there like you're in
claw.
Louisiana. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what they were talking about. All those people that got kind of in trouble with that last month because they didn't realize, okay, I'm putting this on my machine that has everything else on my machine. But this one's cloud-based, but it was just crazy what he was able to produce. And like I said, it created thumbnails for him using his images. It created, okay, here's your videos, here's your scripts. I mean, it created like 78 pages worth of stuff in seconds. And it was just insane. And that's what he said. He's like, I'm going out, I'm looking, I'm telling it to find me what are the trends, what's really successful, what should I put in there? And I was having to send off stuff. Like I was sending off to follow up and do things. So I had it on the side computer over here. So I didn't give it my full on because I'm like, I don't have that version of Perplexity. So I still want to hear about it. But back to our point, the challenge is everything is changing literally by the day, if not by the week. And so how do you decide what to stick with and what to not have shiny object syndrome with it all changing nonstop? But you were talking about positive changes that you ran across where it's fixing things and you didn't have to change anything, right?
Well, I'm just saying Replit 4 came out, their Agent 4. So about 6 months, January-ish, their Agent 3 came out and changed how you use Replit massively. The problem was in the beginning, it was very expensive. I mean, extremely expensive. Right. And then they changed something else and they got much cheaper. And then now they have Agent 4, which seems like it is much smarter. Plus you have multiple tasks going at the same time, ready to go, waiting in order, where before you could do it, just wasn't the same. Yeah. But, there's a lot of things. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday and they were talking about if you're going to build an AI version of whatever you're doing, go grab that version and not rent them, but actually get an older version of AI and make it smarter. There's many different versions you can do that have that, so that when you build it, if you build this thing that has all this knowledge and it stays in there, then you're not building that knowledge for everybody else. It's only in your device. So when you build it up, you can then sell that. When you go to sell it, everything you try to do, you're going to be able to sell that instead of going, well, that AI is out there. It's not even yours.
Right.
And so I use Claude today, not Claw code, but Claude to go through. Did I go blind there? Hold on, over here. Because I've learned with StreamYard, if you put your window in front of it, it stops.
Oh, yep.
And I asked it some questions because I use ChatGPT all the time, but ChatGPT is great for what I do for normal stuff, but I don't think it's as intelligent as Claude is now.
Yeah.
And you keep sending me stupid shit through, excuse my language, through Instagram, like, hey, watch this. And this, who's Dan Marcel anyway?
So Dan Martell is the guy who wrote Buy Back Your Time.
Okay.
Yeah. So he is kind of one of those that's got a good social media presence. He's got a the McLaren mindset is something he does on Instagram on
Okay,
Fridays.
so it's all about the car.
Yeah, because it's
That's
about the
where your
car.
other
Yeah.
lady that was your person. About her.
Heather Wagenhals. Yep. And who else do we know? Dave Falk.
Okay. Well, all right. So my question was, just because you keep sending me his stuff, and then it was like, oh, this is good, this is better, and that's better. But again, and I was trying to figure out, how do you use Claude plus the terminal to code which is better? And I even asked it, since I did the user interface in Lovable, now I'm in Replit, and then it's like, well, you need to use Superbase, because if you're not super, and I'm like, I already did. I also have a backup database in case for fail safe. Wow, you're way ahead of everything else.
Yeah.
But it's just telling me what I need to move it from Replit to Vercel to host it over there.
So I haven't done Vercel yet. So that one's a whole other one.
It's just a hosting place.
Gotcha.
So that you get it out of the Replit, because they're saying that Replit has security issues and the API is open. And I'm sure it was. And that's what they're working on fixing constantly. And so again, you just have to find something that you like and use it. Yeah. Lovable is still great for websites and to start the user interface. I haven't started something new in Replit to know how that user interface does now, because I'm so used to being able to advance Lovable to where I need it to.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about everybody having vulnerabilities and everything. I didn't notice it yesterday, but apparently Instagram was down for a couple hours or something, because they said users were freaking out because messages weren't being delivered and everything else. I didn't notice it, and I'm a pretty heavy user of Instagram a majority of the time. But yeah, the scary thing about any of this stuff is what happens if it goes away. So we've talked about this in terms of social media. Like, are you downloading your clients? Are you downloading this? The challenge is people get very used to going, oh, well, I can pick up at ChatGPT where I left off, or I pick any of the AI sources, because it kind of keeps your history if you tell it to. But there's always that question of, what if it goes away? Like, how could you restart? How could you reset? So it's smart every once in a while, when you really create something you like, get it off of that platform. And I don't care if we're talking about AI. I don't care if we're talking about social media. It's no different than we back up our laptops so that if it ever crashes, it can be rebuilt. Right.
And that's like, we talked about high level. We all love high level, but there's so much there, and you don't use it all. You only use 3 things or 4 things. And so one of the websites I created, which was my Loan Squad, which it's not Outrun. Oh, actually, let's take it back. So my Lending for a Living one that's out there, the reverse mortgage, I have it set up to it has a CRM in it.
Okay.
Automatically, once you click it keeps hitting you and hitting. It's not like they have to be uploaded into another thing, and then this other thing runs. It's in the website that I created with a backend with a CRM. So that what are you going like that for?
Oh, my screen went away for a second, but then it came back. So I'm good.
Your Apple's been having issues. It's time to get a new one. That one from 1985 is old.
No, I do want a new one, but I think I told you I still have the slide.
Yeah. It's a MacBook Pro.
Yeah, but they don't make that anymore.
Yeah, no, I hardly ever use it because it's plugged in. I have it connected to all the monitors, and I have another keyboard. So that's not only time. So actually right now I haven't reconnected my Apple, as you can tell, because I still have the old camera via instead of my DSLR, because I just don't want to take the time to do it.
Don't have to set it back up again.
Yeah, because it's been having issues, and I'm afraid it's going to break. And when they tell me, and they were like, we were just checking to see what you use this for, computer stuff. Yeah, right. Why are you asking me?
What are you?
Well, this is a 2019 model that you bought in 22. I go, yeah, because you didn't have the new chips in the MacBook Pro yet. It was still a couple of years out, so that's not my fault. That's your fault. This should be able to still run everything. It has so much hard drive, so much memory, so much this, that it shouldn't tell me I'm running out of memory when I have 5 coding windows open.
I'm not running out of memory. I've almost hit my 2 terabytes. So I was going in last night, deleting stuff out, because as we create more and more video content, which I think I told you, I'm working with Henry on revamping my YouTube page. Between that and downloading gigs and then cutting them up in Opus clips, I'm starting to run out of space. So I had to go through and delete a bunch of stuff yesterday.
You need iCloud, you need Dropboxes, you need other places to store it. And that's like when I take my Apple in to be repaired, they're like, do you need us to back this up? No, because there's nothing on there I need. Everything is somewhere else. It's not on this computer. So that way, when I go to the office, I don't have to take this computer. It's everything. I just turn on that one and it has everything that I need because it's
Pick
all
up where you left off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
got
that's
you.
because I have like 5 different computers in 5 different places in case I need to do something differently. So I never want to be down, but the problem is I need an up. I love Apple when it comes to the video stuff and when it does that,
Yes.
but I don't want to spend another $5,000 right now to buy another computer.
That is the challenge. Apple is not cheap. Now I did see, and this is kind of off subject because my kiddos asking for like a computer, and they did come out with an iPad Nano, or sorry, iPad Pro Nano or MacBook Nano. What was it that they
Not
just
an
came
Air,
out?
not an Air.
Not an Air. It's a smaller one. It's like $500 entry level. I'm gonna look it up while we're talking here.
Yeah, but for us, that stuff won't work.
No, I agree. So it's called a MacBook Neo. And so it's a little small one that you can get like for kids and stuff like that, or, you know, one that you could just take with you if you want to have one to go on the fly. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, and then back to our thing about AI, what do you do? Just use one.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get that far ahead of it, then start looking at, hey, what more do I need?
Yeah.
Austin Armstrong, all he does is figure out stuff that can be done so that he can talk about it on stage and then his stuff. And that's not knocking him. That's just what he does.
That's his niche. Right.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah.
It's like Nuno and what he does and all this. That's what they do. They create stuff, but then they talk about it. So they're constantly trying to figure out, you know, what's Nana Banana, what's this and that. But back to what I was saying is I can create now mini CRMs inside of a website thing to where you don't need to have high level. So if they go away, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say they're going to go away, but back to your statement,
you're just using it as you're naming them as an example of anything can go away. You're not saying them specifically.
Well, it could be like, you know, Monk. What are those other things CRMs people use? You know what I'm talking about.
HubSpot, MailChimp. Yeah,
all those. Well, AI is so smart. It'll build what you want in a few minutes. Okay. Well, you know, maybe 2 hours, but it's still, then it's done. What's your cost?
Right. That's just holding.
Host your app, host your, you know, thing, but it's all in one place. And I was like, well, then I created a processing software for my mortgage business. I have one with my reverse mortgage because they didn't have one for us brokers. So I have one now that's built into that. When it comes in, it goes right in there and it's done. It's ready to go. And then I can just upload it to the lender. Same with my other stuff. And it's just amazing what you can build with AI these days and how to connect everything to where you don't have multiple systems to run one thing.
Yeah. Well, and it's what we've heard from being in the different groups and everything else is it's what can you use? What will you use? And then what can you go and say, hey, I like this software. Now create me something else. And all these big companies that used to charge an arm and a leg for things are going to be basically, they're going to go lose a ton of customers. So looking at what's out there, Salesforce will be one of the big ones that people are tired of paying them a ridiculous amount of money. And then you have to hire an administrator to do it and everything else. As people get more and more into vibe coding, I think you're going to see, and well, we've already seen it just in the group we're in, of all these people who are creating apps and selling things or creating websites and selling things. As corporate America lays off more people, and they're doing it left and right, if nobody's paying attention, they really are, is then people are going to be going, well, while I'm applying for jobs, what else can I create? Well, in all these apps, you can create with Lovable, Replit, you name it. You can go and create software that you can sell while you apply for jobs.
Or just to help you, or don't pay for it. You build it so that you don't have to pay $29 a month. Right. Be a cheap ass like me. And that's why I build most of my stuff. Or, you know, I built all these websites, which is really not what I want to do, but I'm good at branding a certain thing. I mess with yours, so I'll have to show you what I made of yours. Cause I push things just to see what I can create.
Yeah.
And that's the most important. That's the fun part for me is just how far can I push this? How can I get it to do this? Because I mean, they're tracking everything about you on everything. Yes. A VPN doesn't matter. They can find your signature of your computer or the, you know, MAC address or whatever, and they have a database out there where they're putting all these people together, so they know it's you. Even with a VPN, they know it's all this stuff. And I mean, with one of my sites, I was like, how much can we track? I have it tracking every key. It's putting it in there. And even if you don't go and do the app, I already have your information.
Yeah. Scary.
It is very scary, man.
Well,
All these, sites they're protected. No, they're not.
yeah. Yeah. I think I told you, I clicked on malware the other week, and luckily I was able to defeat it before it did anything. But we don't know. I mean, you go back to the whole, I don't know if you watched the movie, it's not a documentary, but it basically, they went through the whole history of Uber, and like Uber was using according to the show, right? It was like looking at people's pictures and all kinds of stuff and geolocating when it wasn't supposed to. And so you sit there and you go, okay, when we're signing up and we're adding all this crap to our phones, what are we really saying yes to? Because none of us read through the terms and conditions. I mean, only when big corporations do something do we pay attention. Like if you remember a year ago, Zoom said, if you put anything on Zoom, we own the likeness rights, meaning that they could have whatever you recorded on Zoom, they could resell 100% for their profit. So people are like, we're going to leave Zoom. So they finally went and changed it. But there was another one before that. You always see these every few years they pop up. I don't give Facebook the right to reuse my image, blah, blah, blah. Everything is reusing your stuff and your data, because that is the new gold, or the new oil is data. And everybody's grabbing as much as they can off of you based on everything you do. I just signed up. Henry had me set up a new video recording software. And in there, it's like, do you want us to capture keystrokes? I'm like, no. But if I hadn't gone in and turned that off, that would just be another piece of software that's capturing keystrokes. I'm like, well, why does a video recording software need to know keystrokes? But you never know.
Because they want to use it to spy on somebody else.
That's the scary part, right? Because what if you're old school and you're typing in your bank password, your credit card password, whatever it is? You just don't know.
Yeah, well, that's like why people like TikTok. I didn't have it on my one phone that has all my other stuff on it, and they were like, right. "Oh, it's not a big deal." No, it tracked everything. I don't care what they say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, but it's only China.
Not anymore, USA, baby. And I haven't even seen what changed with that. I don't know. We should have Mary back on to talk about cybersecurity with all this stuff again.
Yeah, well, I don't care what it is your information's out there and everybody has it. So just understand that.
Well, that's just the whole thing is, once we took these everywhere we go, that's where it became, right?
Well, that's
walking, talking, tracking, it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like my wife tracking me. You don't need to track me. I want to go back to where we didn't have phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just not because it's like you go to leave the house and you're like, oh shit, where's my phone? Well, that was a wonderful thing about years ago. You'd leave the office or wherever and you wouldn't have a damn phone. They couldn't get a hold of you.
Well, that's the whole thing about people's cortisol levels and why stress is so high, is because it's not 9 to 5, because now we're sitting there and people have the dopamine hit. And so they go and they do, basically check phones. Oh, okay, well, it's a commercial or it's whatever. And then they're checking their phones and they're checking their work email. Then they're checking social media. And it talks about the cortisol levels we have of doing that nonstop. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm checking to see if it needs me to tell it to do something else. That's what I check.
Yeah.
Because I'm building stuff so much, and then I still have to do my other work to make money.
Right.
And now I'm trying to figure ways to use AI to make that so much faster, but not grab their information at the same time. That's the big thing, where a lot of times they're like, put in drop your PDF in ChatGPT or whatever, but it grabs all the information, and you have to be careful of that.
Yeah.
And that's like with a few of my softwares, they has a social security number. Well, I have an actual protection in there that it scrambles the social security number and only undoes it when it transfers a certain way. And so that if somebody breaks into it, they can't see that because it's been, protected.
Yeah. Okay, which, that's not anything you hear that much about anymore, is people stealing social security. You hear about credit cards, banking information stuff, but you don't hear that much about social security hacks anymore. But
well, when they hack and they take everything.
Yeah.
I'm talking
That's true.
about, yeah. I'm talking about for us, just the fact that someone could break in and take, because with mortgage company stuff, they have your data, they have everything on you. Birth, social security number, address, everything you need
to become somebody. Yeah.
Yes. Everything. Because I remember back in the 90s when people would throw the loan information, the file in the trash can. That had all that information on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's just like the service for so many years. They would stencil your social security number on all your stuff.
Oh, really? Didn't
Yeah,
know
like
that.
on your Foot Locker.
Yeah.
Because you put your service number on there. Well, then they changed the service number from a service number to your social security number.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And even the VA now still sends out, or the whatever, your social security number on all the documents in the mail.
I don't understand why government agencies still use old school mail. I mean, I get it, but I don't. It makes me laugh. But
How much do you laugh?
All the time, nonstop.
All right, back to what the program was today about. How do you keep up with the AI changes and how fast it is? You don't.
Yeah, you just, like, to your point, pick something that's working, keep working until it doesn't work, then look for something new. Now, it's good to spot check every once in a while and go, okay, well, should I do this? But if you just keep jumping from platform to platform, it's the equivalent of going to a different seminar every week, but not implementing anything, because you keep starting over. So it's what works for you now, what can you put into place, and then when it's no longer working, or when something is far, far superior, then it's time to make the jump. But to your point, I've stopped going to, and this is a positive thing for the group we're in, I've stopped going to some of the Ignite calls because they keep teaching me something new. And I'm like, I can't get distracted by another effing thing. So,
well, my problem with most of those things, they're all new stuff. They're all the like, hey, let's talk about vibe coding. Well, I've already do that. I want one that, hey, where you have these issues, how do I sell the stuff? And even the other day they were supposed to teach you how to do that, they didn't.
Oh, they didn't? See, I haven't watched that one yet. I figured I'd download it and watch it on the planes this week.
Oh, you're flying somewhere? Oh, that's right. You're going on
spring break.
You're going to Disneyland.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it just Disneyland you're going to, or are you going to like Universal Studios and going to Knott's Berry Farm? And
I don't know if we're going to do Knott's Berry, but yeah, Universal, Disneyland, and then going to just maybe hit the beach, little simple stuff.
That's if you get through the airports.
Well, that's the interesting point, is now they're saying that some of the lines are 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's like
they go outside the terminal and back into the terminal.
Yeah. So it's one of those things of how early do you need to get there now is the question. So
Democrats just need to fund the damn thing and be done with it.
Well, I hate that. This is what drives me nuts. And I know this isn't a political show, but when the people are not paying people who do things, and it's just as leverage against, the other people, it's ridiculous. There are people who are suffering just for people. Look, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. There's still people who are working who need to be paid. And it's all people who are still getting paid and have other money and everything else. They're like, let them eat cake. And it's not fair.
Yeah, but the problem is what they're trying to do has nothing to do, because that agency's funded till 2028 or something like that. So this is just ridiculous stuff that they're doing.
I know. It's just leverage, and it's people who suffer when people play leverage games with other people. So anywho, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate you. Thanks, Brian, for being here. And again, we're here Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific and 12 Central. I think that is.
Yep. Yeah. I know with time change, it's like, well, is it? But I'm like, oh.
Well, that was like somebody sent me something to be on a show. Yeah. And then it was GMT. So I had to it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I don't do that. Sorry.
Well, it's always, when I used to be in corporate America, what time is it in Phoenix? Because they're either an hour ahead or 2 hours, or an hour behind or 2 hours behind. So yeah.
All right. Yeah. Make it a great day. We'll be back next week. Oh, I will. Brian won't be here.
I will not be here.
Yeah. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
All right. Bye, y'all.